Howdy friends, Craig here. Welcome to the third and last installment of our session 1 of Blades in the Dark. If you watched part B, which I recommend you do before you watch this part C, we left the crew in quite a predicament. I'm sure you're dying to see what's about to happen. We also wrapped up the score and do a little bit of downtime. So mechanically, you get to see the beginning of downtime. I expect session 2 to be majority downtime. And we should be, if it's not already available by the time you're watching this, we'll make that available after it's live streamed. Do me a favor, make sure you subscribe and also follow us on Twitch, Third Floor Wars, all one word. That way you can be notified when we broadcast these Blades in the Dark and other actual plays. So anyway, you are anxious to see what happens to this crew, so enjoy. Okay. We're back.
Everything's great.
Yeah, so I think we have to cut to the subterranean room of darkness with Finnegan and his creepy brother standing there. And Galen, your hesitation is a little surprising to Finnegan, and you can see in his face, like, aren't you gonna go?
So, and to clarify, like, when you say the darkness, like, is not allowing the electromagic light to come in, this is not because of the where the light is placed. It is like the darkness is some kind of barrier or magic thing or something.
Whatever's the darkness is holding back the light is the best way to describe it, Galen.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and walk in confidently. Again, that whole, like, straight back, I'm a ponce for the hive posture. And I was thinking about this while you guys were continuing to play yakety sax in the kitchen. And the best action I can think to describe this is it's always night in Duskfall. So
Yes.
even if we can't see, we should have some kind of practice moving around in near darkness.
Okay.
So my thought is, if you need a roll to, like, move through this darkness and not run into stuff or run into whatever they said to avoid, I'm thinking a survey roll would be what I'm doing, because it's more of a...
Let's get you in the room first. How's that sound?
Okay.
Yeah, you have no trouble.
Sounds
so,
good.
Yep. So you and I think this is a smart move on Galen's part. Showing any type of fear right now is probably a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Really odd that these two guys are the last defense, right? Galen's a smart dude. He's like, that's odd. And showing any type of hesitation for these guys, don't. It is now. It becomes a little bit clear why they didn't say we're going in with you, right? But they also Finnegan made it clear that only one person goes through that door. So apparently you're the second person to go through this door. So Galen, you walk in, and the first thing is the temperature drops. And when I say drops, I'm talking 15, 20 degrees. To the point that as soon as you cross this threshold and step into this space, you can immediately see your breath. And you're looking around and your eyes are starting to adjust. And it's not as dark as it was initially. And you see a few things. You look over to your left and your right. The room itself appears to be, I would say, a 30 by 30 room. Okay? And to the left and to the right are the walls. At the far end, there's a safe. Okay, there's a lock box safe. And it's about 3 foot by 3 foot. So it's not huge. But it's sturdy. And so much information's coming in, and it's all dim lights. You're not picking up everything, but here's what you pick up. It's wrapped in what appears to be some sort of vines something organic, vinish, is wrapped around the safe, and it's wrapped on the floor of the room, up the walls, and it's coming around. These vines are coming around the walls. The vines themselves are where the little bit of light is coming from. So the vines themselves have a strange grayish blue glow to them that's providing the only light in the room. And it's not enough light, like it's like you think you see, and then it's dark again, and it's, you can't tell if it's pulsating, or you cannot figure out what the fuck's going on right now. But you see that these vines, they're on the ceiling, and they're wrapped around the safe, and they're coming around the side. And what really, like, that's odd. But what takes you aback are the two bodies on either side of you, about 3 foot away, and their husks. Human husks is the only explanation. And they're wrapped by these vines. And it's not, it doesn't look like the vines constricted and killed them. It looks like the blue light is stronger near the bodies and is being filtered out of the vines. The vines aren't coming from the bodies. The vines are wrapped in the bodies. And they're coming, and the energy, whatever light thing this is coming from that. And the vines are moving. Not like, but just like, we cut back to the kitchen. We've got Cornelius on the floor, high as a kite, on top of the 2 big guys. Reagan is standing there with just 3 dudes at her feet, and she just sees the back, like the Bishop and the other unnamed dude are on their back, and just have these like whacked out grins, and you can't see the expression on Cornelius and Talus's face because he's head down. Cozy, nice, laying on top of the 2 of them. Elias is just like, because it all happened really fast.
Yeah, deer in a headlight, jog down, just what in the heck? Yeah, absolutely.
Travis, we need to finish our job. And like when she says Travis, she like gives you a look. And as she's doing that, she's gonna like put a bit of leather in Cornelius's mouth, and just say, "Right, help me get him out, I suppose."
All right, I follow suit. I go and help pick up Cornelius. And where are we going?
Back to the boats as quietly as possible.
Hey, it was good knowing you, Galen. you see Roman's face. So, Reagan, I think
we're making sure this guy is safe.
Reagan, I think
we're coming back to Shrug.
Reagan wants to help lift Cornelius, and Reagan is trying to help Cornelius. But it ends up just being Elias, and it just ends up being just kind of picking up and wraps Cornelius around his arm and gets him kind of up onto his shoulder, so Cornelius's feet are dragging. Cornelius is like look on his face, and you've got the back door. Corbin,
I was
banging on the door. Are you guys all right? What's going on in there? Hey, are you guys okay?
Oh shit!
Because it went from loud to.
Well, that's why earlier I said like the rat has been taken out. Oh no, you're unconscious too.
And it's bought you some time.
I'll deal with that in a second.
Yeah, it's bought you time. The idiot is an idiot.
Yeah. Thanks, idiots.
So I'll take Cornelius out the back door. What's the back of this townhouse look like?
So you step out to the back, and you can see that the other side of this gated area is, and it turns out that the building isn't unlike the other buildings that you guys saw that were shared walls. He does not share a wall, so the fence runs to the wall of the next building. So there's actually a very small alleyway, so you can go back around to the front and staying outside of the home.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna continue out that way and try to take Cornelius back out to the boat, or at least to a safe point.
Well, I need to know, because there's a big difference time-wise of you getting Cornelius all the way down to the boat versus something else?
Let's get to the front side of the house.
Okay, you're
and
there.
See what I see from there. Yeah.
Do you want to stay in the gate or go outside the gate?
I'll stay inside the gate with him. I don't think I can.
Yep, gate's closed. 6-foot walls. There's nobody else in the courtyard.
Okay, yeah. So I'll go ahead and take him all the way out to the fence, or out to the boat.
Okay, that's going to take a little bit of time. Reagan, are you going with him?
I think Reagan is like staying in here just in case anything else like goes horribly wrong.
So you're going to make it to the front yard, open up the gate for him?
Yeah, I think that works.
Okay. You can tell by the locking mechanism that you're able to unlock it from inside, but if you were to let this shut, it would lock again from the outside. So if Elias is going to be allowed back in through the gate, that's not the only way to get in here. You're going to have to stay there.
Can I not wedge
Don't worry about the gate.
Or you could wedge something if you want to keep it ajar.
Stuff a napkin in the door. Whole thing.
Okay. I'll basically like. It's gonna be so dumb. I'm gonna like pull, like tug at a shirt sleeve, to, like get a scrap and like fold it up and like place it in, like wedge it into the in between the gap.
Latch.
Oh,
Done.
the latch. There we go.
Done.
Words
So-
are.
And you do that well enough, Reagan, that it looks closed. But Elias sees you doing this. He knows it's not closed. You know it's not closed. Anybody walking by would think it's closed. That's taking some time. I'm ticking Corbin's clock.
That's fine.
Another one, because you guys haven't rolled bad or anything. But time. This is taking time.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome, Galen, to the coolest room in the house.
Literally. Okay. So we have our slightly glowing, but not really enough to provide light, vines. And we have the two bodies that they appear to be drawing power from.
Husk is the best word I can give you. They are colorless, naked bodies, and they have skin. But if you were to glance, they could have just as easily been skeletons because you can see every bone, right? So if there's no flesh between the skin and the bones. You see the structure on their cheeks. You can see each individual tooth, like somebody went in and sucked all the air out of them and just.
Gotcha. So based on that, it sounds like Finnegan was telling me to not get touched by the vine. Is what Galen is taking away from that. So he's going to try and pick his way across this room as carefully as possible, while not taking forever, because he does have the two guys who said get in and get out. We shouldn't be doing this. But he's going to try and pick his way across this room without touching any of the vines to the safe.
So you can definitely get within about 2 feet of the safe, but you can't get to the safe because by that time the vines completely cover the floor. They become a rug on the floor. And just so you know, one other little detail, it looks like there's a battle happening between the light in the vines and the darkness of the room, and that's what's causing this like feeling of pulsating. So it's not like the light in the vines is going whoom whoom. It feels like a back and forth tug of war is happening, and sometimes the darkness wins and you can't see any of the vines, and it's not like regular, and then there's a battle happening. That's the only feeling you get, and then suddenly the light from inside the vines is winning, and it lights the room up just a little bit. But if you want to get within, and I'm not going to make you roll for it, you can get within about 2 foot, so you could reach and touch the safe if you kind of leaned forward, and you'd be a little not in the great balance, very balanced, but
okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think we're gonna go ahead and say one of my loadout items, because I was expecting some kind of resistance to us grabbing information would end up being, what would that be? Subterfuge? No. Where are lockpicks?
You gonna put some makeup on?
Yeah, no, I was looking for where lockpicks are.
Burglary gear would have lockpick in there.
There we go. We will do that. Well, I guess that's the better question. Is this a combination safe, or is this a key, or?
Let's do a fortune roll. What do you want it to be?
Mm.
I think I want it to be a. Ooh, no, I actually want it to be a combination, I think.
You want it to be a combination. Okay. 4 or
'Cause
5.
I have nothing in Tinker.
All right. I'm going to roll a 6-sided die, 4, 5, or 6. It's a combination lock. It's a combination lock.
Cool. Okay. In that case.
And just so you know, it's not a wheel turn combination lock. It's craziest thing you've ever seen. It's like a clockwork series of numbers. There's 5 numbers. Right now they're all set to 0, and you can see like these levers next to each one. You get the feeling that like clicking the lever would cause it to click through. So you can see the gears next to each one of the numbers. Okay.
In that case, I would like to. I'm gonna have to touch these vines. Wait, the bodies were naked. Yes.
Yes.
So
they are. Yes, they are. They look like super naked.
Awesome. So I have my long coat on. I'm gonna take that off, and I'm going to place it on the vines, kind of in front of the safe, to make an area where I can essentially kneel and kind of put my ear to the safe, so I can start listening for whatever secondary click there is to say you're on the right number. You know, standard safe cracking stuff is what I'm going for here. And then we're going to use my. I'm going to say I'm going to study this safe as I am pressing through the numbers until I hear the. Ah, yes, that's a good click. As opposed to I'm just moving the number along click.
All right, so you're going to try to pick this combination lock using study. Okay. So you're positioned. And you've got your coat laid out, and you're kneeling on the vines, but you're not touching the vines.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw that there was 2 human husks on the floor wrapped around these vines. Like you saw that. You didn't forget about that when you came up with this idea?
I remembered that.
Okay.
And actually, I guess I should add a step there. When I put the coat on the vines, what do the vines do?
The vines do not react to it.
Excellent. I'm going to gingerly put the weight of like one knee on the coat, holding myself up on the safe, also not touching the vines.
Okay.
What do they do as I put my weight on them?
So it's interesting when you put the weight on, because where you put the coat was all vines. It was like a rug of entangled vines, right? And you put your knee on it, and you expected to feel soft, right? And you did initially. You could feel this, and honestly, for Galen, this is the first time that Galen was relieved because these vines are physical. Because there's a part of Galen's mind going, if these are a bunch of effing ghost vines things, and Reagan's not here, like, I'm gonna pee my pants, right? Like, this is not,
vines, of course.
Yeah, this is not my situation. Like, where the F? By the way, Galen, where the F is Elias? Where is Talos? Where is Reagan? Right? But you put your knee down, and you can feel the vines give way, and then you feel the floor. So you put one knee on it, and the vines did react, but they gave way.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to continue the process of put other knee, same kind of gingerly pace, let them move.
Okay.
And then continue with the checking of the safe.
All All right. So our stated goal for this action is you are going to try to figure out this 5-digit combination by studying how this clockwork locking mechanism seems to be working.
Yes.
Okay.
And essentially waiting for the whatever sign it's giving of this is the correct number, that you'd have to be very precise about to recognize that versus a regular click.
So there's good news and bad news. You know all the bad news. So I guess I'll just give you the good news. The good news is it is dead silent in this room. Even the moving vines aren't making a noise, right? So they're constantly moving and shifting, but you're not hearing a sliding sound when it's happening. Okay, so that's good. It's probably the only thing good about this situation.
Is it good though?
Yeah. So it's a desperate roll. And much like everything that Galen has done this entire effing score, it's great effect. Like, if you do this and figure out a 5-digit combination, once again, Galen is our only hope. This is why you're here. So, I hate to do it to you again, but like, yeah, Galen, it's desperate with a great effect. And I feel like that's all I've given you.
Words.
But what's that?
I'm gonna say my favorite words.
Okay.
What do you got for me on the Devil's Bargain menu?
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
You
So regardless of success or failure, regardless of success or failure. Oh God. You don't have any stress to resist anything I throw at you if you get a success with consequences. So I can't just make this a consequence. If you success or failure, and Finnegan can tell by your lack of confidence, the way you kneel down, the way you're dealing with the vines. Finnegan knows there's a way to get here without doing it the way you did. Okay? So the consequence is that Finnegan is going to go, this is not, no. And he's going to close the door.
Let's not do that then. That is a horrible idea.
Okay.
We'll stick with our one die and one roll. Let's do this.
Just one die.
Desperate. Great. No bonus dice. Heart of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I cannot believe you just rolled a 6.
That's some fucking Zaysh rolls.
Oh my goodness.
It was the desperate you get an XP, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Why can't you do this in the Star Wars game?
So Galen kneels down, and the vines make way for the first one. They make way for his second knee, and you put your hand on the safe, and that was kind of a, and the vines make room for you there, and so you're kind of like, you don't want to touch it, but you're getting as close in there, and you're tinking. And the whole time, the vines, 1 second it looks like they're closing in, reaching out towards your face, but then they kind of do their own thing. And they never touch you, but it looks like that they're moving towards your hand that's leaning against there, not the hand clicking the mechanism, and then they move away. And you can hear, like, the first one was the hardest, right, Galen? It was like, and then you heard it. You went past it, but you heard it. You click through 9 more times and you stop there and you go to the next one, and we cut. Elias is putting poor Cornelius into the gondola, covers him with the same stuff that was covering the crates from before. Reagan, what are you doing?
So, we're in. Like, I have no idea what's going on downstairs.
No idea.
Like, this has taken too long. So many things have messed up. So I'm just gonna, like, look at this house. And I'm gonna try and get into the ghost veil and see if there's, like, anything.
So you're gonna try to go into the ghost veil and see beyond the physical world.
Yeah, so the goal, I guess, is find something helpful or an angle we haven't looked at yet.
Okay, all right. So for those watching, in Blades in the Dark, there is a whole nother world that's intertwined, layered in on top of, below, and across Duskfall, and that is the Ghost Veil. And the Ghost Veil is the memory and the future and everything in between all at once. And not only is it where the ghosts live, that were during the Cataclysm were released into the world, the ghosts all live there, but so does Duskfall 100 years ago, and 200 years ago, and 500 years ago, and well before the Cataclysm. All of Duskfall is there in the Ghost Veil, and in the Ghost Veil is Duskfall 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 300 years from now. It all exists in this Ghost Veil, which, as a whisper, this is not the first time that Reagan has gone here. Cornelius thinks he's there, but he's not. But it feels cool. But Reagan is going
Much
to do
better
that.
ghost veil indeed.
He's in faux veil. Chemically induced veil. So, all right, Reagan. So what does that look like as you try to look into the ghost veil?
So there is this moment of, like, there's this moment of everything kind of, like, crashing over, of, like, realizing, like, we've been here too long, everything. And then there's just this moment of, like, everything stops. And then she kind of, like, looks at the house, turns her head slightly, and her eyes go completely milky white. And I haven't described this yet, but it's fun. She has a tattoo all the way up her left arm. It was put there by a very special friend. They were bored one day. And it is essentially kind of similar to the way the ghost veil is layered both in and around the city. It is a skeletal hand wreathed in black flame. And the black flame seems to squirm and move as she is accessing this other side of the world.
That's kind of cool. All right,
Thank
so
you.
I think I know the answer to
I made
this.
it myself.
Reagan, I think I know the answer to this, but I need to ask it anyway. So what's the action?
The action is a tune.
It's a tune. I figured it was going to be. So Reagan, if this was in the lair, like, this is something you do before you go to bed, right? Tap into the ghost veil, hang out a little bit.
This is what I do on my days off to relieve stress.
Exactly, exactly. That's not what's happening right now, because quite frankly, I think anybody can say that this score could be going better. One of your, at least one of the crew is out. You have no idea if lamplighter is out. So as far as you're concerned right now, the only thing you do know is that it's you and Elias, and who knows if Corbin's coming out the front door at any second now, because he couldn't open that door. So this is definitely a risky roll, because when you're there, you're not here.
Yes.
So let's say this is a risky roll, and I'll give you a standard effect on this. With the goal being is you're trying to see is in the ghost veil, is there another way to get around the house? Does that sound right? I want to make sure we state this correctly. What is the goal?
Yeah, I'm kind of being like Reagan is being vague about it, like just anything. But I think if, I would like for either another way in or another way out.
Okay. Okay. You're good. You're good. So it's a risky standard.
Risky standard. Bonus die. Do I want to push myself on this? What might a devil's bargain look like, Craig?
All right, so you succeed. That's the easiest way for me to frame this in my head. So if you succeed, you will see ways around this house via the ghost veil. The devil's bargain is what's the way to do this? Only you, only you. Even though sometimes you've made this, you have opened the ghost veil to the crew before. There has been times that the crew has gone through a window that wasn't there. That was a window from 300 years ago, and you opened that ghost veil window, and they went through it, right? And I think part of what Reagan is hoping to do is to find a playground slide that allows her to go anywhere she wants in the house with Elias, right? But the devil's bargain is that if you find a way to go through this house, only Reagan can do it. And that's in or out. So even if you were to find Lamplighter, Lamplighter cannot traverse the ghost veil that surrounds this house, nor can Elias. This will be for Reagan and Reagan alone. That is the devil's bargain.
That's the spice right there. Ooh. I mean, you went through all the way of describing a very fun situation, so I'm going to take that devil's bargain.
Okay, that's an extra die.
And I feel like one of us should not have maxed out stress, so I'm not going to myself.
All right. That is a 5. So it's a success with consequences. So let's talk about the success. And I think I know the consequence as well. So the success is your eyes go milky. And I think the way it happens here is it happens in layers. So immediately you see the ghost veil of now. So what was the stone and the wood, gorgeous, expensive house? You see it unchanged structurally, and it's green, right? It's a green energy and not just a physical. And now you know you're there, Reagan. You did it, right? You connected. Despite the stress of everything, you're there. And then it moves and it starts changing. You don't know if you're going forward in time, backwards in time. Maybe you're going sideways to another Dusk Bowl in another parallel universe. You don't know. You haven't figured any of that out, right? But it starts to change, and you can't tell if the building is being built or the building is falling down. But the building is going away. And you see vines. You see these vines replace it. And these vines are growing up from the ground and moving, and they're going down. And they're forming passageways. Sometimes they're a tunnel of vines. Sometimes they're stairs. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go sideways. And it's like an Escher vine thing, right? But what you do see, right when you first saw the green, is you saw the basement. And you saw Lamplighter there. You also saw 2 black voids where there was no light. And they were about 6'8", right near Lamplighter. And they were nothing. But you saw Lamplighter, and Lamplighter disappears. And you don't know if it's, again, Lamplighter is arriving. You can't tell. But you can get to where Lamplighter is. Consequence? The consequence is you breaking into the ghost veil makes like a sonic, not a sonic boom, but like a sonic whoosh. And the Corbin's clock is going to fill up. So now we've lost Corbin. Because the Hive doesn't mess around in the ghost veil. And he's heard that sound before when the veil opens.
I think because I cannot get lamplighter out, I am going to try and resist this.
Okay.
And
All right, so
I'm
it
going
happens.
to I'm going to resist it by kind of using my own kind of attunement by like extension, like insight, because that's the derived thing.
Yep.
Use that to like, I know that that's a thing, and I'm kind of using what influence I have over it to like tamp that down.
Yep, I'm totally good with that. So you hear the sound start, and you're so like the sound. The sound is the first note of your favorite song, Reagan. You love that sound because then you know the rest of the song. You know what's happening, right? When you hear that sound. But you also know that others are going to be able to hear that. They'll hear the veil open because you're not good enough yet, so you suppress that. And it is a stressful process for you to stop the sound, to quiet the veil. So the question is how stressful is it?
Well, as long as I don't roll double one.
So how many dice do you have?
2.
You have 2 dice. All right. Only 1 stress. You are a resisting person. I'll tell you that right now. All right. So where does that put you stress-wise?
That puts me to 5.
5. Very nice. So you immediately, Reagan, locked in on Lamplighter, right? Like you know exactly where it is, and you follow the tunnels and steps that you can go through in the veil to get where Lamplighter is. Are you going?
Oh, I'm going. I didn't come all this way not to.
All right. As you are about to step into the veil, Elias comes in the front gate and grabs the cloth that you put there and pushes it forward. Elias, all you see is Reagan standing there, kind of arms out, and you see her step forward into nothing. And you just see her. Imagine a slow explosion. Imagine that we put tiny little pieces of dynamite all through Reagan's body, and what you saw is all of them explode at once, and you just see Reagan just go into nothingness, like dust. But the good news is you know exactly what happened, right? Because this is not the first time Reagan stepped into the veil. In fact, you've done it too. But what you don't understand is why the F Reagan didn't wait for you, and why Reagan didn't take your hand like she normally would.
I will say, to almost kind of like echo the like hand holding, that imprint of her tattoo remains like just a touch longer after the explosion disperses.
I love it. Love
Nice.
it. Love it. Elias, what the hell, dude?
So yeah, Elias sees this and he's coming back sweaty from carrying our buddy over. Do I know what's the other guy's name that was pounding on the door forever that
Corbin.
escorted?
Corbin is the only that you know of, because you know nothing about Finnegan and his brother. Corbin is the only person you know of that's in the building that is not high as a kite right now.
Is there anything that I suspect that he's on to what we are doing, or is he still just...
So part of the reason the clocks are transparent is because obviously Elias doesn't know there's 2 ticks left, right, in the clock, but
Right.
Elias has an awareness that there's Corbin's only going to be buying all of this for so long. So you have a sense of urgency knowing that you could lose. Corbin could smarten up finally. Does that help a little bit? You know there's an end to Corbin's an idiot.
Yeah, and an end to Elias being a clumsy fool. Oh God, I'm at a loss of what to do.
Put yourself there, Nick.
All right, I see our friend walk through the veil.
You see Reagan vanish into the veil.
Um,
Who the hell knows where Lamplighter is?
Yeah, I have no clue. I know he's in the house of some kind, so I am going to. My goal is to get back inside that house to figure out where Lamplighter is. But scanning my horizon as I'm rushing to the front door, or I guess I'm in the courtyard, right? Or...
You're in the courtyard, and so far you have gone. I should say this: you know of two doors, the one that led to the kitchen in the back, the servants' entrance in the back, and then you know of the front door, and you've passed through both of them.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go barging in that front door.
Are we gonna barge in it? That's okay.
No. I realize nobody's watching me. I run straight to the front door, and I nonchalantly walk through the front door.
Okay. So
what do I see?
You open up the front door. You see Corbin. He's up against the front door, and you can just hear him muttering himself, going, "Oh God, why?" You can't tell what he's saying, but he's having a tough time. He seems
Gotcha.
pretty distraught. He did not notice you come through the door.
And I guess I also don't know that Galen's downstairs, so I can't go.
You
wouldn't know that.
Yeah, you have no idea where Lamplighter is. And you know where Reagan is, but you don't know when she is or why she is or what she is.
Yeah. Well, knowing that we had the plan of potentially being a Hive member in our back pocket as a backup plan.
You did know that.
I'm going to come rushing up towards forgot
Corbin.
The guy's name
Corbin.
again. Corbin. And put my hand on his back and say, "Corbin, are you okay? What's going on?" Like totally nonchalant. What's going on? What can I do to help?
Are all of you Hive?
Well, I think that's pretty obvious now, Corbin. I apologize for any distrust here, but yeah.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble. You guys are gonna, when Oris finds out that all of this, look at his house, the door won't open, and oh God, like you're gonna tell Orvis, and Oris is gonna, he's not gonna fire me, he's gonna put me in a box. That's what he's gonna do, and oh God. Don't.
Good.
No, don't tell him. Like how do we fix this?
I kind of direct Corbin as he's moping towards. Is there like a sitting room, formal dining, living?
Yeah, right there actually, right off of
there?
the kitchen. There's like a smoking room. It's got these beautiful ornate velvet red couches. There's huge ashtray on a table in front of it, and there's small ashtrays by each of the couches and chairs. Just gorgeous.
Absolutely. So I go and sit him down.
I'm not supposed to be in this room. This is, oh God, if he sees me in here, oh my God.
Corbin, it's fine. I promise you. At this stage, this is the least of your worries. But we're here on official business, and you just need to relax. What do we need to do to help you clean up? Can you get these maids or the ladies that were in the kitchen to help clean up that area right now?
I don't know. I'm not their boss. Get Bishop. Bishop's the boss. Bishop can Bishop will tell him what to do. And oh God, where's the other guy? Where's the other guy that that I told him where to go, and and he's not back yet. And like, if he gets hurt, that's not like there's people that go down in the basement and they never come back. You know that, right? Like if he's dead, oh God.
Corbin, don't worry. He's out at the boat waiting for me. Don't worry about that. Right now, you need to relax. I will go find Bruno Bishop. There we go. Bruno. Sorry. Just calm, relax. If there's a whiskey or just spirits,
there's
some kind in that
there's
room.
actually a brandy over on a sidebar there.
Yeah, I grab the brandy. I grab the rocks glass, fill it halfway up, and hand it to him and say, "You need to relax. Promise me you'll stay here. I'll go talk to Bishop."
This is like 2 coin. That's how much this brandy costs. Just this much is 2 coin. Do you know if Oris like saw me like even touching, and let alone drinking this? This is like 2 coin.
I look at Corbin straight in the eye and tell him, "Corbin, don't. This is above your pay grade. This is above Oris's pay grade. You relax. You enjoy your drink and relax. You understand?"
I love it.
I love this.
We've got to roll.
Oh man.
Oh, this is fantastic. What is your stated goal?
My stated goal is to convey convincingly that he needs to shut the hell up and stay put,
Okay. All right.
while I go do other stuff, knowing Bishop's unconscious on the other side of that glued door, which is awesome to say.
All right. And what is your action?
Oh God, I wish it was Hunt. You know what? Actually, I think Consort can actually work here.
Yeah.
As I'm pretending to be part of the hive and consorting with fellow crew members.
So I will allow consort. It's going to hurt your position. And the reason it's going to hurt your position is because you made it really clear that you are well above his pay grade. So he did not consider, and you didn't know this, but he did not consider lamplighter an equal. And you do not sound like you work for lamplighter. You sounds like you work with lamplighter. So I will allow consort, but it's going to hurt your position. So let me give you the setup for consort, and you can decide whether to stay with it or not. So if you stay with consort, it's going to be a risky with limited effect. So what it'll do is he will consider you at his equal, as opposed to being above his pay grade, right? So that's why it's a limited effect, because I'm getting the impression that you want to control and shut him down, and if he thinks you're just another Mooba like him, then consorting with him is going to give you limited effect.
Can I ask? I don't want to min-max this, but command will be more forceful.
Command will give you a couple things. It's going to give you a controlled position because of the table that was set by lamplighter, and it'll give you standard effect. So it'll upgrade your position and your effect if you go with command.
All right, I'll go with command.
Okay. So it'll be a controlled roll with standard effect. All right, hands down, I don't know what you paid for that necklace, Galen. That was the best purchase you ever made.
Is there any difference between no pips and pushing yourself?
So with no pips, it's going to roll 2 dice, take the lowest. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you push yourself, then you upgrade that. So you would go to effectively having 1 pip, which gives you 1 die. So it's the difference between rolling 2 dice, take the lowest, and rolling 1 die and taking what it gives you.
Is there a devil's bargain?
There is a devil's bargain. There's always a devil's bargain.
Shit. Okay.
All right. So the devil's bargain is you command him to calm the hell down. And in my mind, with a standard effect, like he'll sit there for 30 minutes and drink the most expensive brandy he's ever. Like, he'll never get a chance to drink this brandy. And he was ordered to do it. God damn it. Right? So the devil's bargain is that's not easy, dude. What is the devil's bargain? He believes it. He's never going to forget you. Never forget you. So when he eventually talks to Oris, he's going to be able to describe your face, your structure, what you wore, maybe even where you bought what you're wearing. Like every detail. Like if Oris sat him down with an artist, the artist would draw Elias. That's the devil's bargain. Is that Corbin will be so like overwhelmed by your command, successful or not, that it burns into his brain.
I'll take it.
Okay. So that's happening either way. You understand that, right?
Yep.
Like that's done.
Yep.
All right.
It's done.
All right. And all it gets you is another die.
Right, so
now you have 2 dice, right?
I have 2 die. Yep.
Or just 1 die? Because you're not.
No, it's 2 because I took the stress.
Oh, you did take the
push
stress.
yourself and the devil's bargain.
So you're going to put yourself up to 8 of 9. Ooh, and you succeeded with consequences. Oh, what's the consequence?
He spills his brandy?
No, that's not the consequence. The consequence is that he's going to sit. The success is he's going to sit there and sip on the brandy, and he's out of the picture for 20, 30 minutes, which I hope for your guys' sake isn't more than enough time.
Yeah.
The consequence is the next shift is going to get here. So the next shift is going to show up in about 10 minutes. That's the consequence. The consequence is that all of these guys were at the end of their shift. And so in about 10 minutes, you got 10 minutes before the next goon squad comes in so that these 3 Yokos can go home.
All right.
What I love...
Sorry, guys.
I love how stress is going to be managed so much differently in session 2.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it.
We blew our wad on this one.
So he goes, okay, and it's okay for me to drink this?
Yes, Corbin, drink it.
I gotta hurry though, because the guy, like, the other guys are gonna get here in like 10 minutes, so I can go home. So I can't just sip. I would love to sip on this for like the next 20, 30 minutes, but I better hurry up, right? Before the rest of the guys get here to relieve us.
Yes, Corbin. You have 10 minutes. Finish it up. I'll go find Bishop, and we'll go from there.
All right. And Elias, you picked.
That's right, though. You did get us 10 minutes we did not have.
That's very true.
Right. Yeah.
That's very true. And Elias, you did hear distinctly the mention of, "Is your guy back from the basement?"
Yeah. So real quick, in the back fenced off area, is there access to the canals back there?
No, that goes up against another set of houses. So there's and those are blocked off. Those are shared walls. It's a wall of houses on the other side there. So you'd have to go over them or through them to get to the other side of the street, which would be another canal. Does that make sense?
It's not an easy Hitman 47 drop the body over the edge. Okay. Is there a meat grinder? I'm joking.
Is there a wood chipper, Craig? Is there a wood chipper in Dustful?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go the roundabout way to the kitchen. Right?
So you're
There's
gonna go
another
back out
entrance
and
there.
go in through the service entrance.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know what else to do. I've kind of blown my wad on forcing this guy just to shut the hell up and wait for a reaction from one of my crew members. So I'm gonna go frisk the two high as a kite thugs on the ground and see if they have anything of note. Maybe a real bee necklace I can take off their hands for future use. And
I like it.
Anything useful. I'm just gonna try to be as useful as possible while I'm in this
It's
moment.
yours. So you go to Bishop, and both Bishop and the other unnamed goon, who have got it out for Lamplighter, are there, and their faces have changed. So instead of like it's like I don't know. It's just creepy. It's just creepy. And you pull down Bishop's thing, and you undo his necklace, and you take off his bee necklace. You've got a bee necklace.
All right. You know what? I'm going to yell through the door at Corbin. Corbin, your guys are high as a kite in here. What are they on? Are they doing drugs? Get your ass in here before your boss shows up and finds them high as a kite. Get around here and help me haul these guys off site so Horace,
Yeah.
whatever his name, doesn't find out that your crew is not up to par.
Okay. So he goes, "What?" So you hear him run to the door, and he's like, "Well, open the door! Oh my God, open the door!
Corbin, there's something wrong with this freaking door. Come around."
Go around! Like, what do you mean go around?"
I tell him to walk his happy ass around.
Oh, you mean go outside? Oh, that's smart. I wouldn't have thought of that. So
Yeah, stop
you
by
hear
the
him
ATM
run-
on your way and give me money.
He comes in through the service entrance, and he's like, "Oh, that looks like trance. I didn't know Bishop did trance."
Corbin, is there a place to hide these guys while they get out off of this stuff?
Oh, if the new shift finds out that Bishop does trance on the job, that's bad. Like, that's bad. That's bad for me. It's bad for Bishop. It's bad. I don't even know his name.
Is there a place to hide Bishop and unknown assailant in this house that they can kind of walk it off?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? Wait a minute. Let's do this. We can put him out back. Nobody goes out back. You want to just put him out back?
Let's take him out back.
All right. So the scene cuts away of you guys dragging these two goons through the service entrance out to the back, and he points to you. There's kind of like, for lack of a better word, a wooden dumpster area where you can kind of like open the door and there's garbage and stuff in there. And Corbin's like, if we put him in there, they'll be able, like, when they wake up, like in 2 hours, like they'll be in the trash, but nobody will know, and maybe the new shift won't. Right out. You're really smart. This is a great idea. All right, so we cut to Reagan. Reagan, you have been tracing your way through the Vale. And as the crow flies, Reagan, it is maybe only 100 yards from where you entered the Vale to where Lamplighter is. But through the Vale, it's up, down, sideways, like... And time doesn't really matter either, right? So for you, it takes about an hour and a half for you to make this travel. But what's crazy is that everybody watching this episode sees Reagan go, And then you hear the whoosh, Galen, behind you. And you're click, click, click. And you didn't even need to turn around. You know exactly what that sound is because it's Reagan's sound. So it's not like you heard the veil open and go, "Oh Jesus, someone opened the veil." It's Reagan. And you've heard that sound before. So you know Reagan's behind you.
Okay. And at this point, I've finished opening the safe. At this point, like that was the final click. No.
Nope.
Still
You got
working
one
on it?
more to
Okay.
go.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of glance over my shoulder, and has the veil just opened, or is Reagan like come out?
Reagan is just there.
Okay. Got it. So I'm going to, in this silent, viney room, make the smallest whisper possible that will reach Reagan and hopefully not the door. And say, watch out for the vines. And unless you can get another veil door open to get us out together, get out of here.
So, unfortunately, Finnegan has seen the appearance of Reagan.
Okay.
All right. So you say that, Reagan, it registers, you hear that, and do you hear behind you, "Who's that?"
And with that, ultimately, I want to say, you know as much as I do.
What are you
I'm
gonna?
just here opening a safe, trying not to touch the freaking glow vines.
And Reagan, as you step through and materialize, you see Galen. You hear what Galen tells you. You immediately register around you. You can tell that this is Veil energy. Immediately, immediately you can tell it's Veil energy. You see the two corpses, and it's the energy from these corpses that's fueling these vines. And you also sense and knew to look behind you because of the darkness you saw. There was no veil. So you knew there was something behind you, and whether you wanted to not do it or not, you look over and you can see Finnegan and Finnegan's brother there. So you're fully aware. What I'm telling you is you know the entire situation.
Okay, as I arrive.
Yes.
Arriving has happened. Okay, so I know that the two corpses are probably hollows.
Yes. Well, you're not sure that they're hollows. You're sure that they're dead. Whether they're going to get up and try to shake your hand, you don't know.
Anything hanging around them as I arrived in the Vale?
Just the vines. So they're
Okay.
no, and so yeah, there's no energy left in them. So as you came through the veil, it was these vines. At some point in time in the past, in the present, in the future, whatever, it was these vines that were growing up and down, right? And so as you come out of the veil, you recognize these vines because you've been traveling on them to get here.
Cool. I was hoping I wouldn't make a noise when I came in, but that's fine. Figure something out.
It wasn't the noise that made Finnegan saw you.
Okay. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and ape a few of the weirder actions that I've seen Nyrix do and kind of tilt my head very uncomfortably. And do I still have the connection that I can get out?
Oh yeah, you'll be able to bring that out. Yeah, yeah, you made sure of that.
Cool. I'm gonna.
Nobody can see it though. Only you can see it.
I'm gonna very slowly start walking towards the two Taikarosi.
Creepy girl. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. So, what is our stated goal?
Buying buy Galen as much time as possible to pop the safe and try and like pull away, like distract from and basically like using this to play into the idea that like Galen has no idea who I am, and using what I know about the veil, I'm kind of acting as creepily as possible just to be something that showed up. Like, they don't have a connection to me because they never saw me upstairs.
Do you
They
want...
just know that.
I'm going to restate this and you tell me if I'm on the money, okay? Are you trying to make them think that you are supernatural? That you are not a person? Because
Yes.
they've never seen Reagan. Remember, they weren't upstairs. Right?
Yeah. I think that's the thing.
Is that
Yeah.
the goal?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good with that. What are we going to use to do that, though?
Well, I am sort of supernatural. I'm going to, instead of like using force of personality, I'm going to start doing some weird magic shit.
Okay. So are you going to try to attune for special effects?
Yeah, I'm going to try to attune.
I don't love attune, but I get what you're saying. They're going to... This is going to be desperate then, I think.
Yeah.
And the effect will be standard. And the goal is they don't think you are, for lack of a better word in Duskville, human.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to think you're otherworldly. So that's the goal. It's going to be desperate because if the jig is up as far as Finnegan is concerned, right? Every candle has been burned at this point. If like a whisper, if they realize you're a whisper,
Mm-hmm.
then Galen is not, because Galen saw, they recognize that Galen saw you, and Galen was not bothered by seeing you. They're going to figure this out. So this is desperate. I don't think it's a great effect, though, because what we don't know is how they react to the supernatural, so I'm okay with standard effect. So I'm okay with desperate standard. But I'll let you use a tune.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Reagan has no ability to lie, so she's just relying on the one thing she does do.
Yep.
Oh boy, we're gonna get up into some territory. While I figure out whether I want to push myself, what would be a devil's bargain? I feel like there's an obvious one.
Well, you guys love you some damn devil's bargains, don't you?
It's just cheaper than using stress.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, it's easy because we've seen it before. If you succeed, you're gonna scare the ever living bejeebus out of them, and they're gonna shut the frickin' door. Right? Because they're gonna be scared to death, and that's if you succeed. If you fail, they're gonna make sure you don't get out of this room. So they're gonna shut the frickin' door. So the devil's bargain is similar to the one I gave before, which is Finnegan and his brother are going to shut that door.
Okay, so I'm not gonna take a devil's bargain then.
Okay.
But I'm gonna push myself because
Fair enough.
this is gonna buy you some time, and hopefully you get that lost combination. Oh boy. No, I rolled like absolute shit.
1, 2, and a 3. That sucks. That sucks. So, I'm imagining Reagan, quick thinking, right? Realizes my only chance, and they're a superstitious people. Your only chance is to scare them, right? And you turn and you start, moving weird. You maybe get your tattoo to do some funky thing. Maybe get a little bit of energy to profuse out. Maybe you put one hand through the door and bring it back again. So like, right? And Finnegan goes, I know you and your kind. Slams the door. So you guys are hanging out in the room together.
I guess I got better end of that deal.
You're sleeping high as a kite. You're doing great, Cornelius. You're doing great. Nick, the bodies are there. Corbin is just like, what do we, they're going to be here in 5 minutes. Like, what do we tell them? Like, when they get here, what do we say?
I look at Corbin dead in the eye. I'll help you out of this, Corbin, but you owe me. Remember this. You owe me.
Okay. What do we do?
They're hidden. Go and talk to your the people that are coming back on board or are coming on shift. Keep them out in the courtyard. I will take care of everything out here. Keep them in the courtyard at all cost. You understand me, Corbin?
So don't come in the house?
Don't let them come in the house. I gotta make sure that these guys are well hidden.
I don't know if I can do that. We need a roll.
You gotta try it.
How are you going to...
Give them the good old pat on the ass. And
how are you going to instill some confidence in old Corbin?
Yeah. And he owes me one. That's the big key. I want him to understand.
Right.
He owes me one.
Yep. You're saving his ass.
Yes. That's the goal.
What's the action?
Oh shit! I gotta roll for this, don't I?
Yeah.
I thought it just happened. Yeah, I was like, cool. This is great.
So the goal is that you're going to give Corbin the confidence. I really think it is the confidence to go up there and tell the 3 goons they're about to start their shift not to go in the house. This is not something Corbin would ever normally be able to do.
Right. Oh god. I thoughts, guys, on an action or a...
I want to know what Vaslav thinks.
One of the social ones, but I'm not sure which one.
So AJO4949, who God bless has been with us this whole time, says another negative flip command so he doesn't collapse into a weepy mess.
100% accurate. Yes. Thank you, AJ. AJO.
I mean,
True, but yeah.
I mean, as much as I would like to see Craig play him to cry out on the backyard, I mean, like, the command or consort makes sense to me. But this is more consorting way.
You can make a
consort.
You can make a better argument for the consort here than you could before, because now it's you and me, buddy. Like together we're gonna save Bishop's ass and your ass. So I'm okay with consort. You're gonna be in a much better position and effect with consort this time than last time.
Is there another devil's bargain?
It's always a devil's bargain. The devil's bargain is, even if you give him the confidence, he's not going to be very good at this. That's the devil's bargain. If you take it, he's going to have very little effectiveness here. If you don't take the devil's bargain, I bet he's going to buy you more time.
All right, let's. Yeah.
And if you fail, if you take the devil's bargain and you fail, he's gonna tell them everything when they show up. He's gonna tell them where Lamplighter is. He's gonna tell them the last place he saw you. He's gonna spill the beans about Bishop getting high. Like he's gonna fold like a lawn chair.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of lawn chairs. So let's go ahead and just not bargain with the devil today.
All right.
So are we on what's the position?
All right. So the position, we're using consort. The position, I'm actually giving you controlled for the position. because of everything we've done up to this point. And the effect is standard. I think that if you're successful here, he'll be able to buy you a good bit of time.
All right.
Even if it's just because the
one
three
single
goons,
die.
even if it's just because the three goons are like, what the hell is wrong with Corbin? Why did Oris even hire him?
Right. All right. One die. Let's see
One
what
die.
happens.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way I can. No, I can't get. No, you gotta come with me. You talk to him. I'll tell him that you're telling the truth. But there's no way. I can't. Like, they're scary. They're scary. Like, if Bishop could tell him. But Bishop can't tell him right now.
Bishop's also selling secrets.
Yes. I grab Corbin, and I say, "You're right. Let's head out to the courtyard, and we'll talk to him together." And I make sure he's in front of me while I put on that bee necklace and put it underneath my shirt.
All right.
And walk him out to the courtyard, waiting for the bee shift.
I like it. All right, so we cut to a really dark room without an open door. And we've got Reagan standing there deciding she doesn't have to pretend to be as creepy as she was trying to be because the door is closed. And click. The safe unlocks. And as soon as that click happens, by the way, the vines retreat from the safe.
Go ahead and open the safe and let's see what we have inside.
So you open the safe, and there's a good bit to go through. It's all papers, but you do very quickly find a bundle of brown paper. Can't tell what's in it, but it's tied several times with twine, and it says Lissa on there.
Okay. Grab that. While I'm going through there, I want to see if I can find any other juicy information that I could potentially hand over to Salia.
Fair enough. So what is the goal?
The goal is to find other information that would be not necessarily good for the paper. Like, I don't necessarily need this to be rumor mongering, but if it is, great.
Great.
But I really want something that she could turn into a job for us. Like, go subvert something else the Hive is doing, or possibly use to further her own interests.
Okay, but something basically that's going to turn that clock off. Does that sound about right? Okay. All right, I'm good with that goal. So what is the action?
I mean, it's got to be study. Like, I'm quickly looking through this contained information.
Yep, I'm good. So let's do risky standard.
Okay. Risky standard. No bonus dice.
Success with consequences. All right, so you go through there and you find information about Oris. And you just quickly look at it and you realize that it's letters and documents, and it's got Oris's name all over it, right? So you're flipping through and you just see Oris, and they're bound together and they're in the far back, kind of stashed away there. You don't take the time to really understand what it is, but you grab it, right? You grab it and you grab it with the Lissa package. The consequences later.
Okay.
And the reason I'm not even going to give you a chance to resist is because you don't even. I don't think you would.
Yeah, no.
So-
I'm fine with that, and that's the cost of doing business.
Yep.
I have one other thing.
Okay.
This is tricky. I think you'll appreciate this.
Oh God.
One of the other things. Let me just ask this: a bilge hook would be an unusual weapon, correct? A bill hook.
Okay.
Okay. I have one of those snuck away in my long coat. I'm going to leave it in the safe as kind of a calling card of clearly the bill hooks were here and did this.
Yeah, you don't need to roll for that. Just mark it.
Sweet. My whole idea there is we haven't like our reputation is we're unseen.
Right.
We've been seen, but they don't know who we are.
I'm good with that. So you leave a bill hook in there.
Excellent. I do that. I look over to Reagan, to Eustacia, and kind of give her the eyes of, do you need to put anything in there? Can I close the safe? What's going on with the vines? Can you get us out of here? Again, I don't know how well they're hearing.
Where
me
the
through that
F have
door.
you been?
Yeah. Oh, at this point, I don't care. I just want out. I'm tired. I want a beer.
So Craig, from taking the devil's bargain, one person can go through the veil.
Yes.
Can I make it so that Galen goes through the veil and I stay here?
Oh, you are a lawyer by trade.
The reason I'm doing this is for a cool character sacrificial moment, but you know.
Let's do a fortune roll. 4, 5, or 6. Yes.
Cool.
I'll let you roll it.
Roll fortune. Number of dice. 1. Notes.
Please roll 6. Yeah. No, I mean, like you think for a second maybe, but you look at the quality of the door, and you know maybe you could put Galen in there, but you have no confidence that you'd be able to get Galen out. Right? That you'd be able to direct Galen and know that Galen would come out in Duskville, let alone in this century. So no.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have the confidence. You know you could. This house is effed up, man.
Yeah. So that moment of like being asked a question of like, is there anything you want to leave in here? Like there's just like a long moment of like Reagan staring at Galen, like not answering the question, not almost registering it. Like it looks like she's essentially just doing math behind her eyes. No, I cannot.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to and I'm assuming in there you tell me you can't bring me out too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what she says.
Gotcha. So I'm going to hand you the score. I'm going to say, you know, this goes to Adelaide. This take to Salia at the paper. And then I'm going to reach in there and grab like 2 other random pieces of paper that I don't care about. And I'm going to say, I need you to scream for me convincingly before you leave.
I can do that, but I'm sorry.
I'll do what I can. Just wait for me a few minutes. If I'm not out in 5, I won't be coming.
This is so awesome.
I know, right?
There's like the moment of like she goes to kind of like pat your shoulder, just like do a good job, and like it stops because like things are weird. Like people are weird, but she takes everything.
I will wait. I'll make sure everyone else isn't dead.
Excellent. I start like pounding fist into like hand just for the sound effects and like grunting.
I'm gonna kind of like time the wail as I'm like ghost failing.
Perfect.
So it sounds like resonant and fucking weird.
Nice. Done.
Awesome. Once that's done, I close the safe and I try to slam it loudly that they can hopefully hear it. And I make my way back to the door and I start just yelling through the door and like pounding on it authoritatively of Finnegan. And I'm back in the Ponzi, like very high class voice. Finnegan, you dastard! I've scared off the little girl. Let me back out.
So the goal is to get the door to open?
Yes.
Okay. What is the action?
I know the way I just did that vocally it would be a command, but that is I have no pips in command, so this has got to be.
And you can change how you say it. I mean,
okay, that's
yeah. I'm not gonna railroad you based on that short role play.
Okay. So I would hit first and say and essentially present the situation of Finnegan, I've scared her off. Let me out as kind of a sway. And if he offers resistance, I would then say this is a skirmish of words.
No, we're not doing it. Nice try, though. Nice try. I'm good with sway. Okay. Position with sway is risky. The effect is standard. Because I think that he'll open the door. It doesn't mean he's going to believe any of your bullshit.
That's fine. I'll take open door over not open door.
Yep.
As my last act, I will do an assist.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
And
all right.
And we can count the scream as the assist.
Yeah.
Like the extra supernatural. Yeah. So you're going to take you're at 8 of 9. Oh my God. We even used up Reagan's.
We got that.
Got a 5. You got a 5. So he opens the door. Opens the door and he goes, what does he say?
Please, right this way.
Yeah.
No further troubles.
Can I give you 5 coin? What does he say? He opens the door. What did you do with her?
Well, my good man, I scared her off because she wasn't a ghost. She was someone apparently probing your security systems. And with as impressive as you and your friend or brother here are, and these vines and everything else in this house is, you apparently haven't upgraded your veil systems yet. And I would recommend doing so.
Okay, consequence.
If they came in... Okay.
Because this is a 5. Bartholomew! Grab him! I need a skirmish.
Okay.
Unless you can think of some other way to avoid Bartholomew's grasp.
No, not really.
Okay. So it is going to be... It's risky. It's not desperate. Standard effect. Standard effect. All so right. If you pull this off, I'll let you avoid that and be ahead of them.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So, Bartholomew, grab him. Bartholomew reaches to grab around. You duck down and you head towards the door. God, I don't know what to do for a consequence. They're after you. They're abandoning their post. They are on your tail.
Cool. I'm
Yeah.
running pell-mell.
You're gonna what?
I'm running pell-mell. Just pedal to the metal.
All right, so they're gonna follow you. They're gonna follow you up the stairs. Where are you headed?
I don't know what's been going on upstairs.
You don't want to know.
I guess you
probably
try
don't.
to go through kitchen, right?
Yeah, go through the kitchen. That's the obvious answer.
Well, the way
Try
I
that
have
door.
the-
See how that works for you.
Now, the way I'm seeing the layout in my head, like, down to the basement, obviously you come out and do like a U-turn and go around the stairs that would lead you upstairs to get to the front door. So I'm imagining just running straight for the front door and trying to close it behind me to gain a little space.
Yeah,
and
and
then when I get to the gate, do the same thing.
I'm good with you on that, Galen, because I think the presence of Reagan and Reagan's, saying, "Wait for me 5 minutes outside." Like, I don't think you would see if everybody's still in the kitchen. I'm totally believe
no.
that. I totally believe that you would go through the front door, even if it was just a matter of Reagan says, "We'll meet you outside," right? I don't see you going back to the kitchen. So yeah, I'm good with that. All right, so you run up there. They're too close for you to close the door, or maybe even kind of slam the door on the basement door at the first floor, and it doesn't latch. They're right behind you. You're able to get through the front door. You close the front door behind you, and as you close the front door behind you, you see Corbin standing with Elias, and then there's Reagan. And
Can I not have shown up just yet? Can I have waited a moment still?
Well, actually, here's a better question, Reagan. Where would you show up?
So I'm kind of pulling, like, I'm taking the path I can to a point till it diverges, because, like, if everything goes right and he escapes, I'm assuming, like, there is the potential of chasing occurring, and I don't want to show up like, "Hello, I'm here also," with this group standing outside.
So, I mean, you're in the Ghost Vale, so depending on how far from where you entered you want to go, we might need a roll. But if it's relatively close to where, because the door is right where Corbin and Elias are.
I would ideally like to find a dock on our route.
So not even the dock where Cornelius is?
No, because it's directly out from the house from the description we had earlier. So, like, the next dock along.
Okay. All right. So you'll need a roll to do that. I won't require a roll if you go to the dock where Cornelius is. And just so you know, remember, you're a good, 15 feet below street level if you appear next to Cornelius.
Oh, I suppose that's... Oh, and we've got a blanket over. Yeah, I'm going to that dock.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
that's where you appear.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in, again, it's 2 hours for you, but it's walk, right? And you're just instantaneously there with Cornelius. So boom. So Galen slams the door behind him. Finnegan and Bartholomew, is that what I said?
Yep.
And Bartholomew, they hit the door that you've got now closed. Elias, you see this happening. You've got Corbin there with you. What happens?
I don't see the second shift.
This is the
around,
first
do I?
time you've seen Lamplighter since like for a while, and all you see is
Congratulations,
sweat.
I'm alive.
Is there a interpret roll to see the facial expressions that he's giving me as he's?
Yeah, no roll. He's scared, really
Yeah,
scared.
he's scared shitless. Okay.
And for what it's worth, like, when that door closes, I don't stop. I keep going. I am assuming they're right behind me, and that door is a momentary
So
barrier at best.
the flash we are right
Like-
now is you using the weight of your body though to slam that door shut. That's the moment where we are, where I want to find out what Elias is doing. But I'm not going to keep you there.
Okay.
Oh my god. So I got Corbin there in the courtyard. I'm seeing all this happen.
Literally any second now. Second shift is coming up.
Second shift is coming up.
Oh yeah, Corbin's just like, they're gonna be here in a second. Ba-boom! The front door flies open. There's Lamplighter slamming the door. You hear 2 bodies hitting the door.
Let's. I'm thinking a little misdirection here. Did Corbin mention any kind of names or any kind of what the official term for the next shift? I see Lamplighter running out, fearing for his life. I look at Corbin. I say, tell second shift to go down, to go on the other side of the door and stop whatever's after my guy now.
Okay. All right. So he goes, okay. Galen's headed right for the gate. Like, he acknowledges that you exist in the world that he lives in, but he's not waiting to. He's not going to grab your hand. Corbin and him go do this. You realize what Lamplighter's doing. The door opens up. There's Finnegan and Bartholomew standing there. Corbin's headed right into them. You guys throw open the gate, step out onto the street, look down. There's 3 goons taking their leisurely time walking down the sidewalk that freeze as soon as you pop through the gate. This is both you and Lamplighter.
Me and Lamplighter. I look at the next shift, and I say, Bishop and Corbin need your help now. There's people chasing us. Go after them now.
The billhooks came in through the billhooks came in through the basement and infiltrated. It's crazy in there.
Okay, so one of you is gonna roll.
Not me. Oh wait, I think we're both at 8, aren't we?
Yeah. No, I'm at 7, but that's not any more helpful.
Well, that puts you in a position to assist.
You can assist.
Right. So if you have Elias make the roll, you could assist him.
I will totally do that.
All right. So I'm
What's
going to use consort.
What's the desired goal?
The desired goal is to act as part of the hive and in speaking the lingo and not giving them a reason to doubt that I'm one of them, and to misdirect them as to head to the courtyard and stop the potential bill hooks or whatever is coming through.
Yep. So I'm going to restate it back to you. Tell me if I'm right. The goal is to get them to not go after you, but go after the bill hooks, which they're convinced, based off of what you're saying, are chasing you and causing troubles in the house, right?
Yep.
All right. And we're going to do that with what?
Consort.
It's going to have no effect. There's no way that you're being chummy with them.
Yeah, it's got to be command or sway.
Sway all the way. Oh, maybe command might be.
Yeah, command might be, huh? All right, so a little bit more forceful with command, and upping my tone and really driving authority, I guess.
All right, so we're going to use command. This is going to be a desperate command. It's going to be a great effect, though. Great effect. Remember, I hope everybody who's making these desperate rolls are jotting it down somewhere, because it's going to matter for XP.
Does that matter if you assist the desperate command?
It does not. It does not help you.
Okay.
You're going to get an assist from Lamplighter. So Lamplighter, go ahead and take. We know that's going to happen. So go ahead and take the stress. So that gives you +1 die. Do you want a devil's bargain to give you another die?
Yes. Let's see what happens. Okay. What do you got for me?
So success or failure. On a success, they obviously are going to go run. You're going to be gone by the time they get there, right? And they're going to go right into the gate instead of going down to the gondola, which is where you're headed towards, and they're going to go in. On a failure, They are going to go after you, not going to go after that, because they just saw the two people running out of the house that they're in charge of guarding, right? So that's the success or failure. The devil's bargain. Oh boy, devil's bargain is on either, regardless of whether you have a success or a failure, you are going to get +3 heat from all of this. So Oris has connections with the Bluecoats. And whether you succeed or fail in this, he is going to blow you up as a crew. And he's going to add, you're going to end up +3 heat on top of everything else at the end of this score.
Guys, thoughts? Can I ask for thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
Boy. To make a...
I feel like we kind of need to get by this. I mean, it's just...
Well,
I'm at a single die
we
right now.
don't, because we already have the stuff.
So, screw you, I'm going home.
Yeah. True, touche.
And it's +3 heat to whatever heat we might accumulate.
Yeah, to what we...
Nevertheless.
Yeah, I don't take that. I wouldn't take it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how heat weighs on it, so I'm not going to dive into it now, but I'll take these guys' word for it. So I'm not going to take the devil's bargain.
So you're gonna add +1 die to your sway.
Yeah.
All right, and we said it was risky standard, right? No, we said desperate standard.
Desperate great.
Yes,
Yeah.
desperate great. That's correct. Desperate great.
Galen special.
The Galen special.
I wish Galen could make this roll. All right. You ready?
I believe in you.
Fuck.
Wait, is that including the one from the assist?
Yeah,
I'm at a
he would-
0.
He would have had
Okay,
two
yeah.
negative two
Oh,
dice
got it.
take the lowest. So you're gonna get away. You're gonna get away. And I don't know what it is. But they find out you left something behind. One of the 4 of you left something behind. That they figure out that it was the umbral means.
Oh,
So they know it was
Oh,
the 4
boy.
of you. And you guys get to the gondola before they can get to you. You get into the gondola. Reagan is there, ready to push off. You guys get in the gondola. Those guys are still working their way down the steps on the side of the gondola, and it pushes away. And they don't have a boat, and they're trying to. They run out of places to run because the dock is just there, and there's no place to run. They're not diving into that water, and it's pushing away. And all of a sudden, one of you, and I want to know who it is, reaches in a pocket, and what's missing? What fell out of whose pocket? And if it's not good enough, I'm going to ask you for something better. So give me something good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's most likely that it came out of Elias's pocket while he was playing yakety sax in the kitchen.
Good call. So Elias, what could you have left behind that makes it obvious it was the umbral means? Is there anything signature for you guys? Like, I'm not saying that, like, you didn't leave back the address to your lair or something like that. I'm not going to do that to you.
Yeah.
But what is something? What is something that the 4 of you can any of you can come up with? Is there something that you guys have that could be
So one of the
left.
things I was thinking about with this is, in a way of trying to gain notoriety and reputation, you have to leave some sort of calling card of some kind, right? Like, I mean, the bandits on Home Alone did it. We can do it too. So I'm thinking some sort of logoed or monogrammed throwing knife that we use as some sort of signature as we felt necessary to put somewhere, whether it's in a body, in a wall, in a car, to make a stance that
So,
says,
Elias,
here's the logo.
Elias, you owned a knife, and it was a very rare knife. And what ends up happening is it gets found in that pile of pans, and Oris sends somebody to figure out where that knife came from, and they figure it out. They found where you bought the knife, and they know who bought it, and that person says, yeah, new crew, Umbral Means. So they know that you exist. They definitely know that you exist. And the reason I consider this reconciling that failure is because of your reputation. Your reputation is untraceable, and that is not what just happened.
Yep.
So
close, though. So close.
All right,
After
kiddies.
After all this.
Speaking of which, let's start off with the Umbral Means. So let's bring up that crew sheet real quick. And Joe, if you don't mind steering, let's talk about XP. And let me just find in the book real quick where that is. The score, 125. Let's see here. Payoff, 146.
I've seen the cheat sheet as well.
Oh, is it in the cheat sheet?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do that then.
And there's a section at the bottom of the crew page.
Yeah. That's
Even
not
better.
enough.
All right. So
All
let's go
right.
to that to mark XP. At the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP or instead mark 2 XP if the item occurred multiple times. Let's ready to talk through it. Did you execute a successful burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage information operation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yep. Go ahead and mark it.
I don't.
Joe.
Would you count the one for the crew and the one for my information broker separately, or is that all just one?
I think it's all one.
Okay.
Did you contend with challenges above your current station? Yeah.
Very much so.
All right. Did you contend, bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? No. Nope. Express the goals, drives, and inner conflict and essential nature of the crew. You did not.
I argue that it's not our reputation, but one of our central things is to keep Lissa safe. And that was the entire purpose of this job.
Another lawyer.
Yeah, if you got out of there untraceable, like the bill hook thing was awesome, dude. And if that had pulled it off, I'd say yeah. I think you only get 2 XP, which is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So now let's go to individuals. We'll start with Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe, open up your character sheet.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I've marked my one for my one desperate roll.
Oh, you did already. Okay, and that went in resolve.
Yes, because that's what I rolled off of.
All right.
Off a tune.
All right. So, you addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. No question.
Mm-hmm.
No question. So where's that XP going to go?
Just similar to the crew bit. It is you can gain multiples of this. So solving a problem, like doing the veil, getting the stuff out of that. Yes. Trying to remember. I did have something for knowledge that I didn't write down. But I'm just that's fine. I'll mark the one.
I think.
Do you want to do it in playbook, or do you want to do it on a particular attribute?
Let's put it into. I'm gonna put it into resolve.
Okay.
See if I can get some charisma skills.
You
on this
expressed
lady.
your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Background in law, so using the knowledge that I got in the Blue Coats.
You know
to
what?
turn a situation.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. I'll give you one for that. Where do you want to put it? Yeah, it's definitely your background. No, it's a good call, Reagan. Joe. You put it towards
Who's Joe?
playbook?
I am ready. Yeah, I'm putting it towards playbook.
All right. So, Joe, did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during this session? I don't think you did.
I did not.
Okay. So that all right. So that takes care of Reagan. Let's now go to Sleepy Cornelius.
So I did a desperate roll that put everybody to sleep, me included. So I put it immediately to prowess, right?
Correct.
For the desperate.
Yep, and it was actually
So it's the chevrons above the.
Yep.
Or what
You marked it
call them?
perfect.
Okay.
Yep. And all right. So
So
you
I
addressed.
just challenge with technical skill or mayhem.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so where is that going to go?
I will be putting everything into prowess.
Okay, great. Go ahead and mark it for prowess. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Well, if drinking coffee counts, then I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to give you that one.
Yeah,
Struggled with issues from your vice or traumas. Your vice is faith. I don't think so.
Not really.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so that takes care of you. Let's take a look at Elias. Elias, how many desperate rolls did you take, and what'd you take them in?
I took 2. One was it was command.
Okay, so that'll give you
And-
one in resolve. Go ahead and mark it.
Okay.
And what was your other
And
desperate roll?
then the other one was actually in sway, so the same one.
Great, so it's 2 for resolve. All right, so let's go down to the bottom. Let's see. You addressed a challenge with tracking or violence. I don't think so.
No, it got violent, but
Yeah.
not around me, not with me. I was violent with the pots and pans. Does that count?
It doesn't. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Underworld. I don't think so.
No.
Struggled with issues from your vice or traumas. Nope. I think you're good with your desperate rolls. I think you got 2 XP, which isn't too bad, which isn't bad at all, actually. The one good side about taking all those. All right, so let's look at lamplighter here. Lamplighter, you got oh wow, look at 3 desperate rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 2 in insight and 1 in resolve. Wow.
Yep. Sturdy and sway.
All right, so let's go to you addressed a challenge with a calculation or conspiracy.
That was all I did today. So by coming in, and the coming in and acting as the Hive double agent, I can actually argue that as the background due to being a double agent military spy. Or that could be conspiracy. I wouldn't try to double dip, but I would say that fits in one of those.
Okay.
And leaving the billhook behind was definitely addressing things with a conspiracy as well.
I'll give you 1.
Okay.
Yep,
I'll
I'll give you 1. Where are you going to put it?
And for the viewers in the stream who maybe are not familiar with this, what is the difference between putting in XP into your insight, prowess, resolve versus into your playbook?
So if you do it in your playbook and your playbook fills up, you get to pick a new special ability. All right. If you fill up, let's say, insight, then you get to put a dot somewhere in insight.
Okay.
By the way, those 2 crew XPs, it's like 2 XP for everyone. We can put anywhere.
No, what you
Or
do?
is it the crew 1?
The crew levels up. Yep. That's what's so cool is the crew is its own character.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I definitely didn't do anything with vice or traumas this round.
Yep. So where are you going to put that one?
I'm putting it in the playbook.
Ah, excellent. Okay, down in the playbook. All right. Does that leave... Did we do Elias? We didn't do Elias, right? Yeah, we did. That's everybody, right?
Mhm.
Okay, let's talk about payoff. So 2 rep by default. So if we can open up... let's open up the Umbral Means. Joe, if you don't mind driving.
Yeah, I got it.
So 2 rep plus 1 per tier higher. So this was tier 0 against a tier 4, so it's 3 more rep. Silent operation. If no one knows about it, gain...
So close.
Coin. Small job. 4 coin. So fill up the coin and then add 2 to the vaults. Tithe. Are you going to pay? In this case, the tithe would be... Let me think. Who would the tithe be to? The tithe would be to the blue coats.
Interesting.
So you're going to pay a coin to Mr. Wheatley?
I mean, it makes sense for the mass. I would pay it this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so during downtime, you're going to pay a coin. So let's take away a coin.
There we go. That's how you do it on your sheet.
All right. We did not take the devil's bargain on heat, correct?
Correct.
All right. 0 heat if it's smooth, quiet, and low exposure.
So
Yeah.
0 heat,
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 heat if
Sounds
it's...
that one up. Yeah.
It's going to be 2 heat. It's going to be contained, right? But standard exposure. So let's add 2 heat. Plus 1 heat if it's high profile, well connected target. Add 1 heat, please. This guy is the second in command for the entire hive. Situation happened on hostile turf. Yes, it did. Another heat.
Oh boy.
Are you at war with another faction? This is going to move you to -2 with the hive. You're not at war. And there was no killing involved. I thought that was going to happen. I thought for sure Elias was going to kill Corbin. I thought for sure he was.
Thought about it.
I'm kind of sad we didn't, because then we don't get to describe what happens when someone dies in Dustfall.
Yeah, it's
Could we get like less heat for making the guys high at least? You know?
all right. So
Oh yeah, there's a special provisor. Did the people you heisted from have a good time?
yes, they did. Okay, so that leaves you at 4 heat. Not as good as you'd like it to be, but let's talk about entanglements then. I'm going to have Cornelius roll the entanglement roll. You are currently not wanted, so you are just going to roll 2 dice, take the lowest, because you're at 0 wanted.
We are actually slippery, so we will
Yeah.
keep the one we want.
Oh, look at you. All right. But you are at 4 heat, so we're looking at the middle column.
Which column?
The other thing slippery does, and I don't know how this does, is it says when you reduce heat on the crew, take +1 dice.
So
Um,
reducing heat is a downtime action.
Correct.
okay.
So one or more of us can spend
Ah, right.
time recovering from stress to like do something that works at removing that. There's a couple of options. I can't remember if it needs a roll.
that'll be during
It
downtime.
probably does.
So yeah, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Let's figure out our entanglements first. So it'll be 2 dice, and you get to pick the highest,
Or pick which one we want.
or pick which one you want. That's true.
Yeah.
That's even more specific. So you're gonna roll 2d6 there for me, Cornelius? And you can just do it through the regular die roller.
Oh, there is a roll entanglement, I guess.
Oh, good.
Oh boy.
Which one do you want?
Which one do you want?
Take the right one.
Right.
Okay,
So
gang,
glad we picked
trouble, or questioning. And I will cover at the beginning of session 2 what happens there. But it was gang, trouble, or questioning that happens. All right, guys, do you want to do downtime, or should we do that at the start of session 2? This is particularly for Joe and Vaslev. It's very late where you are.
I'm good to run through it, but obviously I'm an insane person who is usually awake at these times.
So I would prefer next time.
All right,
Because I think there might be quite a bit of maybe even a role play, I think.
Yeah, it'll probably take some time. I think that's a good call. So, and this was 5 hours. We put in a hell of a session. And for those that don't realize it, Joe is 5 hours ahead of us. Vaslev, you're 6 hours or 7 hours?
6. Yeah, I'm 6 ahead.
Yeah. So, big thank you to you guys for sticking with us. I was glad to get a full score done. We're going to keep it very, very short, but I would love to hear some thoughts real quick and give a chance for any questions for the cast from in the chat. So anybody in the chat that wants to ask questions, feel free. But I'd like to start with Roman. Is this the first time you've ever played Blades, Roman?
This is the first time I've ever played Blades.
And?
I am a huge heist fan, and I've been trying to figure out how to make an RPG feel like you planned out everything in advance without actually taking the 4 sessions beforehand to plan out everything that never actually happens in advance. This does that.
Yeah.
And I think we just scratched the surface with it tonight with just a couple flashbacks and going, oh yeah, I have that in my back pocket. I love this. Can we play tomorrow? I don't need to go to work. Well, I do, but I really don't want to say that.
No, I hear you. It I'll tell you what, considering that 4 out of the 5 of us have never played before, I'm amazed at how smooth it went. I think I opened the book twice, which is crazy. And a quick shout out to Stream of Blood. My watching Jared run Blades in the Dark on Stream of Blood was a big reason why I didn't have to open the book. So I doubt Jared will watch this, but if anybody who is not watching Stream of Blood, start watching Stream of Blood. But yeah, I'm with you. Nick, how about you?
Yeah, I was really impressed with how seamless things seem to be. I mean, there was moments of kind of thinking about what is opportune, but it's not. Let me calculate what dice is the best stat. It was just what feels right. Go into it and go, well, okay, I'm going to take some stress to try to overcome this. You either pay the price to try to overcome what you need to overcome, or you deal with the consequences. I loved everything about this system and in the world. I mean, I've been a huge fan of this environment in general, so I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Vaslev.
And Craig, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Pulling us into this world, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it made it so easy on me to focus on my character and just listen and see what's going and imagine what's going on in my head as you describe it. So thank you.
Hey, we got a spam comment. Let me quickly see if I can get rid of that.
Oh, but the Prince of Nigeria needs our money.
Well, he can hire us to do a job for him.
That's right. Yeah. It's only 2 coin.
Vaslev, while I take care of that, what did you think, buddy?
It was great. I played previously the space opera version, which was not that much of a heist, which I was kind of sad that it wasn't. So I'm glad I managed to play the Blades version, or the original one, what you call it. And it was great. Like, we went in, there was a mess, and it made sense in the moment. We made, like, there was a distraction, there was an agent on the target, and we managed to pull through. Okay, I fainted, but I was happy doing that. And like, I'm in this situation, it was funny, and as you mentioned, you looked into the book twice. I do not like going to the book in much detail. I didn't this time, because then I get the feel of the game and then I understand more. So
Yeah.
I need more practice with the thing. I'm not good with reading the theory ahead of time. And
I can definitely see that.
This everything we did made sense to me. It's great.
Yep. So good old Ajo4949 is still here 5 hours later with us, and his or her comment is, I can't wait to see more of the supernatural elements pulled into the story, which is a wonderful transition.
Us too.
To Whisper. So Reagan, better known as Joe. Joe, what did it feel like?
Oh boy, I first I want to take this moment to give a huge thank you to my co-conspirators. With it being the first time that, or having not played it that much, I thought you guys did incredibly adapting to the situation. Shout out to Nick, who again has rarely played role-playing games and was able to stay in a character vibe. And yeah, thank you Craig, for the delightful array of voices and issues that we had to Benny Hill our way through.
I did not think this was going to be the first score.
When I saw him desperately banging the door, almost crying, I almost cried as well when I saw it. That was just brilliant.
Poor Corbin.
My favorite by far.
It's again, I mentioned in our session 0, the kind of the energy that we have just by making characters. You guys saw a little bit of that today. I'd be very curious if there is either a moment of downtime or just something during a score where we can actually kind of flesh out how the group came together. I think that would be an interesting thing, because I have my ideas of Reagan being given a place to exist that is aside from some traumas in her life. So that is kind of that was sort of the impetus behind well, if one of us is remaining here, we're going to make it you. Obviously didn't work out, but I'm happy I got to play into that stuff that's just kind of been rattling around in my head rather than anything that's been naturally stated. But yeah, great session, guys. Long session, guys, but we did a heist.
Yeah.
I
did
agree.
crime.
So for those...
what I loved about the session... Sorry.
Go ahead, Vaslav.
Yeah. One thing I like when I think about it back, there were so many options we could do. I was thinking, if I was down there, I would use my, ward to try to fight with it. Or that so many things that could have happened. And I'm thinking they could be equally cool, but we just went with the flow and it just was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good sign of a good system.
I agree. So a couple things that I took away. One, hats off. Hats off. It was great for a first score. That was fun. And I thought everybody participated. Everybody had their moments, which is what I, as a GM, always want, is I want everybody to have their moments. And I had some concerns that wouldn't happen. I had concerns that Reagan wouldn't have a chance to have her moment, and boy, she did. And I was a little concerned Vaslav was, and boy, he did. I mean, Cornelius is, you guys would all be dead. If not for Cornelius. And then even Elias, managed the situation. And and then, Roman, I mean, yeah, that was that really well. So a couple of thoughts. One, I think all of us should think about and look over and understand our load a little bit better. I'm not saying that there wasn't load opportunities, but I think we forgot about the load. I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know if anybody had special abilities that weren't being leveraged, but each of you have at least one. So I don't know whether they mattered or not, or were forgotten. I forgot about them. I don't know if you guys did. And then we're going to have to think about stress, because you're going to find in downtime, you don't start with 0 again. So you guys are going to be going into the next score with not 9 stress, which you guys had no trouble using on your first score. So it'll be a resource that I think the 4 of you are going to have to manage a little bit better next time. And can you imagine had Joe not gotten that 6 and that 5 when he resisted?
Oof.
Oh my
Cannot
gosh.
imagine it all.
All right.
What is
Thankfully, it
stuff?
didn't happen.
It snowballs so much. You start using one, then second one, then I kind of want to finish the investment, right?
Yeah.
And then you just figure out that it's a rare resource.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Rare resource.
So offline, we're going to figure out whether the coin stays as a municipal thing or whether you guys are going to split up your coins. You guys can decide that yourself. We'll talk about it on the group chat internally and tell people about it in session 2. When we get back to session 2, we're going to walk through downtime, which may take all of session 2, which is fine. Maybe what we'll shoot for is session 2 will be downtime and setting up the next score. That's what I think would be a good session 2.
Yeah,
We're
I
going
think ending a session on the engagement roll is a pretty
I
decent cliffhanger.
love that idea. Let's make that our goal for session 2 is to end on the engagement roll. I like that a lot. And then we are going to shoot to do this again at the same time. Actually, if it's all right with Joe and Vaslev, I'm sure you're not going to argue with this, but I'd love to start an hour earlier next time, so 6 Eastern instead of 7 Eastern. And that really depends on
go on.
Roman and Nick whether they can do that or not. I'm sure I can make it happen, so we'll talk about that. So for those listening and that stuck around, the stream might be an hour earlier next time. So we're going to shoot to do this again on the 28th. Unless we do it on the 21st, who the hell knows what's going to happen, whether we can wait 2 weeks or not. But for those of you that watched all the way to the end, I appreciate you sticking around, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I can tell you that the 5 of us had a blast. This was the first time we had all played Blades. Oh, actually, first time for 4 of us playing Blades in the Dark. Joe had played before. It is a very neat system. And if you listen to the Tabletop Talk podcast put out by us, Third Floor Wars, make sure you check out the John Harper interview. It is fascinating to learn how Mr. Harper got to the point where he created this really nifty game. I expect us to be playing a lot more of this, so keep your eyes out if you're not subscribed to the channel. And if you're not following us on Twitch, make sure you do so you can catch our actual plays live and interact with us while we put on our performances and have a good time. Anyway, thanks for watching.